Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. First things first, if you're new here, please subscribe. You don't have to, of course, but it would really help me out in where I'm trying to get my channel to be. So I always say to my subscribers, and on my channel here, we talk about motivation and that inspiration of life quite often, and I feel it's so important to help people succeed. You don't even have to know somebody, but you can want the best for them. And I think in a world where anything goes and so much nastiness goes on nowadays, what better thing just to pay a compliment to somebody or just wishing somebody goodness and kindness just for no reason whatsoever. So from me to you, how about investing in your potential, or at least taking a little bit more time to invest in your potential? Now, what does that mean? So I've been thinking about this for a little while now. I'm 32 years of age as I sit before you, and I've got hopes and dreams and aspirations which I'm ready to achieve. I've walked a bit of a difficult path in the recent years with one thing or another through health problems and bereavements, and I'm ready to talk a lot more about personal attributes and that strength, where it comes from, instilling growth in ourselves and helping ourselves to invest in our potential. Now that can mean a huge array of things, can't it? From mindfulness, from knowing when to take a break, from learning better financial skills, to taking time to develop our personal growth. Investing in our potential, and that's just it, isn't it? That right from possibly school age or when we leave school, we're told about our potential. We're told about how important it is to realise and achieve our potential, or how often have people heard, you've got so much potential. And do you know what? If you apply yourself correctly, do you know what? It can be absolutely incredible, and you can always, no matter what age, realise and really pick up your potential and absolutely run with it and achieve great things. But of course, achieving great things is difficult for everybody. For some people, it will be having a certain amount of money in the bank. For some people, it will be a certain stage in their career. For some people, it will be retiring healthily and in a strong position. For others, it will be walking down the road feeling healthy, fit, and well. So this has got me thinking that actually there are so many different variations of how we can invest in our potential, but yet I wonder if we're actually even doing it. Now, after schooling or education, whatever we're kind of putting there in that way of life, we stop hearing that, don't we? I find if it's not in the workplace, in your career, we don't hear it really anywhere else, whether it be in the family. You would hope that potential to go on and achieve things and do great things and maybe buy the house and maybe go on a lovely summer holiday, or maybe do a nice extension or some remodeling in the home. Or perhaps if you're trying for a family, or perhaps if you're single and you're looking for a relationship and you've got the potential and you've got all these great things ahead of you, but yet perhaps you're there and you're not really doing too much about it. Because often we get caught in this life, don't we, that the 9 to 5 or whatever working roles, just to be able to ensure that we're stable in life and that we've got the financial stability to be able to live a healthy, comfortable life. And yet there's a lot of us who as well going through different things such as health, such as maybe family problems, maybe personal issues, maybe mental health issues. And you know, we all of this is going on, isn't it, in life, and week by week, month by month, and yet we're not really realising our potential. We're just going from that stepping stone to stepping stone, and actually right in front of us when we look in the mirror is a really great potential, a really strong potential, which a lot of us are just sitting on, aren't we? And that's when I think to ourselves that we have to, that actually this could mean so many things. It doesn't have to cost anything, and of course if you're in a position to be able to excel and further your education, then a great potential. But my friend, there is potential to develop yourself, whether that be your social skills, whether that be to connect to family members, whether that be to concentrate on yourself, to really strengthen and harbour better mental health skills, to improve your overall well-being, to improve your mental health, to deliver a much more happier life for yourself. Maybe you don't need to change too much at all to realise your potential. Maybe you're already there in the career. Maybe you've got the most amazing family. But yet sometimes you struggle to balance the day-to-day struggles of up and down just from general life. Perhaps you're in a job, but you think if you applied yourself differently, or if you realised your potential through maybe a conversation with your manager, or maybe better training, or maybe an evening class or something like that, or even just looking up and educating yourself, which is a really great way to self-develop yourself, whether it be through an online resource, a local library, or picking up a free training supplying course online, or one thing and another. There are so many great ways to be able to advance yourself going forward. moving forward, whether it be confidence, whether it be you may have a bit of an anxiety issue, and yet actually it's holding you back, it's really stopping your potential, and you know that inside you've got all of this greatness which you want to throw out into the world, and you want to do better at work, or maybe you want to be a little bit more comfortable in the family life, whether it be financially, or maybe you've got some relationship issues or some problems with siblings, or perhaps you may not have the best relationship with parents or grandparents and you want that all to change. Potential can mean so many things. Let's put it this way. For example, a child, we always say that our children, don't we, in the world have got so much potential, and of course they have. But we've got potential in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and for however long we are blessed to walk this earth. As long as we're healthy and well, we can change at whatever age. Do you know what? Many years ago, when I was a teenager, and I've always had quite a philosophical mind, I think, and I would always ask questions to people, what are you going to do when you're older? And my twin brother and I would have these quite deep conversations about what the future would hold for us. And the blessing of being a twin is that you walk that path together, pretty much side by side, and the ups and the downs, you get to see it in each other. And anyway, I remember one day talking about what we wanted for the future, and the plan we had back then years ago to what we're in now is very, very different. But what sometimes we don't realise is that actually sometimes the strength which comes from the not knowing and actually getting through situations which really test us and push us to the brink, it's the strength which then we find the potential. We find the potential of being able to think on our feet quickly, to be able to find a resolution quickly, to be able to throw ourselves into a situation quickly, and to push for maybe better health, or to maybe a better resolution to a solution, or an issue rather, or getting the better out of a real dark situation or scenario. And we find that potential. And I often think back to those conversations I had years ago and think, actually, do you know what? We were talking about our potential and what we wanted our lives to be, and yet actually, when we think back on it, we've done quite a lot of it. There's still loads to do, and there's still loads of potential to realise and to invest in, but actually we've done a lot of it already. We've started it. I remember actually saying to my dear Nan, bless her heart, what do you want to do when you're older, Nan? And my Nan was about in her 80s then, and my Nan would always joke and find that funny, and we'd have a little joke about it. And my Nan sometimes would sort of tell me about she just wanted the family to be healthy and well, and that she wanted, as long as she was healthy, that she didn't mind, and as long as her family was okay. That was my Nan. Love through and through for her family, and it was always her family before herself. And but you know what I really wanted to hear from my Nan is that yes, her family was absolutely everything, but I wanted her to go on and enjoy her life. And I know as a mother, and any parent, as a father or any parent, you want the best for your family. I want the best for my nieces and nephews. And I haven't got children just yet. I'm not blessed with that. And I hope to one day. Hope to be married. You know, the perfect scenario, everybody, what we desire for. A beautiful wife, beautiful home, beautiful children, and all of that. And but you know what? What I wanted to hear from a Nan all that time ago was that actually she wanted to do this. She wanted to do that. Because I knew that my Nan had so much potential. But bless her, she would hold on to that, she'd sit on that potential, and she was the most incredible lady, and the most incredible, talented, skillful lady. But yeah, she put all of that into her family. And that's the thing, isn't it? Some of us go through life never really realising the huge potential we have, and sometimes we don't see it in ourselves, do we? Sometimes we can be sat there thinking, do you know what? I can't do this and I can't do that. But yet, at the same time, you're maybe supporting a loved one through difficult issues, through maybe mental health issues, or you may be supporting a loved one through a bereavement, or through monetary issues, or through maybe education with children, and there may be struggles at home, one thing or another. But yet, actually, yourself, you can't see the potential you're exercising, but yet everywhere else in your life, you're showing so much potential, but yet you're not quite seeing it. So do you know what? Bringing it right back through all of what we've spoken about there, it's so important to take time in life to invest in our potential. So let's keep ourselves strong, because remember, my friend, we can't be the best version of ourselves for everybody else if we don't take time to recuperate, to take a break, to take a deep breath sometimes and actually think, you know what, I need to just do this for my own mental health, for my own well-being, or even for my physical health, to be able to then recharge, to be able to step back up, to be able to get back up in the world and actually realise my potential of being the best person I can be, being the best sibling, the best brother, the best parent, the best grandparent, uncle, aunt, the best friend. Do you know what I mean? We have to realise our potential, and it can mean so many things what we've talked about. We've talked about money, relationships, we've talked about issues, we've talked about excelling ourselves, looking at our own selves for skills and experiences and one thing and another. But it's just that, isn't it? Sometimes when we get comfortable in life, it's time to wake ourselves up to think, actually, let's start making it uncomfortable. Let's start realizing that potential we've got in us, and let's start putting it into practice and investing it. And sometimes, my friend, what I would always say as well is that it doesn't have to happen overnight. It doesn't have to happen right here and now. But what does have to happen is for us to start putting the mechanism into play that actually we've got to start thinking about it. We've got to start putting it into motion. We've got to start thinking positively about ourselves. And then, whether it be a couple of days or in a couple of weeks' time, making small changes. Maybe that be a conversation. Maybe that be writing it down. Maybe then doing a bit of research. Maybe then attending a session, maybe online, or I don't know, looking at an online provider, an education provider, or maybe looking at skills, or maybe picking up a book, or maybe talking to somebody we haven't for a long time. It happens in steps. It doesn't happen overnight, my friend, and it takes time to realize the potential and to invest in the potential. You've just got to give yourself grace. You've got to give yourself consideration and compassion that actually, do you know, it's not just going to come together, and this is going to be difficult because, my friend, everything worth it in life is not easy, and everything what is so worth it in life does not just come to us at the click of a finger, whether it be financial, whether it be relationship, whether it be love, whether it be family. I mean, we all know that, don't we? We all have families where you want the best for somebody, you can't put them in the best situation, they've got to find it themselves. And it's like, isn't it, if somebody's going through issues, whether it be mental health, or if somebody's maybe in a job which you don't think's best for them, or in a situation what's not best for them, or maybe they're in an issue with their health, but yet they're not making the right decisions. We always want the best for people, don't we? We can help others realise their potential and invest in their potential for better health, for better financial stability, for better relationships, for better skills, for better education, for better journeys in life. For me, faith is a huge grounding and direction and pillar in my life that actually sometimes, when it all gets too much, the one thing in the world I do is close everything down around me, put my hands together, look up to the Lord and say exactly how I'm feeling and exactly what's troubling me, exactly what's stressing me. And sometimes I know for a fact the Lord must think, goodness me, what on earth are you going on about? But then I have a moment and then I think to myself, no, he doesn't. He's right here with me. He wants to know my struggles. He wants to know everything because he's with me always. And I think a lot of people would do a lot of good from really investing more time and just sometimes turning to him, turning to the Lord. And actually there's a lot of strength which can be had. There's a lot of guidance, and he's right there listening always, even if you're not ready just yet. I hope one day you will be. But yes, realizing and investing in that potential of yours. It means many different things to many different people, but all important, all valid, and all so worthy. So if you're sat there thinking, do you know what, I really wanted to try that in my life, and yet you've written it off in your life, maybe you're sat here and maybe you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s. It's never too late. You've not failed. You've not done anything wrong. You're in the situation for a particular reason, I don't know what. However, you can change it. Remember, my friend, there's only one of you in this world, and you are absolutely amazing just through that fact, because there's only one of you in this world, my friend. And you are writing your book in a year, 365 pages. Okay, if you're in a chapter in your life and you don't like it, let's change the chapter. And I know it's not as easy as that, but let's get trying, because if we don't try, then we're never ever going to win. On that note, my friend, I really hope that I've resonated with you, and I really hope that I've given you a little bit of inspiration or even a bit of motivation to be able to get up from the situation you're in and start investing in your potential. Because you know what? You've got so much greatness and so much goodness in you. You need to start finding it, because we have one life. Let's make it amazing. Let's make that book of our life absolutely incredible. As I always say, if you don't like what you're reading, and hypothetically speaking here, that's that book. If you don't like the book you're reading, what you're writing right now, and you're reading it back, for example, in the life you're leading, and you're reading it back and you're thinking, I don't like this, then write it differently. Write it differently. Change the story. Change the theme. And you can start making changes. As I say, my friend, it doesn't have to happen overnight. Realise that potential. We've all got it. Not all of us sadly find it. But please, let's start to have a look deep down in our side. And when we do look inside our heart and in our mind and we give ourselves grace, we can often find that it improves our well-being, it improves our mental health. And when we start getting those thoughts and feelings out, we often find that shortly behind that, our potential starts getting realised, and we really then start to break into something incredible. So on that note, my friend, God bless, take great care, and I look forward to your company real soon. Bye now.